Am I remembering that correctly? And then we didn't have to worry about that anymore.
Um, Let me think, because I believe I do have a recap for y'all. Is everybody good to go and all set up?
Yeah, I think we're good.
Cool.
Yep.
Awesome. All right.
I'm ready.
In that case, I'm gonna check one thing, and then we're gonna get started. Awesome. Cool. Radical.
Bodacious.
Thank you, Cowabunga. Um. Okay. So when we last left off, the party, having found their way into a red dragon's lair, managed to fight it for a bit, finding it to be fairly challenging. Um, but eventually, Cirthus, having fallen down into kind of the horde, dragon's horde pit, had gotten cornered, and then, in kind of a last ditch effort, Zippel had cast banishment and managed to, for 60 seconds, get rid of the dragon, grabbing everything he could, including a red dragon scale. Cirthus then hightailed it over to the side where Chomp, transformed into a giant ape, had climbed back up to the second tier, right around the time of which the dragon had unbanished and gone on a rampage amongst the kobolds who had decided to take the opportunity to come down into the pit. After quickly tearing through the kobolds, all of you having just cleared the top of the railing, the dragon has started to look about and try to find you. And that is where we are going to pick up. So, what would you all like to do?
I would like to get healed, probably. I have like 19 hit points.
I will
So
make you a deal. This one will heal you if you agree that we leave the dragon alone and we flee this place.
oh yeah, definitely.
Okay, well, you lead the way, and I will heal you when we are out.
Okay, this way.
All right. Anyone else? I mean, how would you like to try to get out? You are on the second tier of the city. There is quite a bit of noise going on, the dragon roaring. Kobolds that are left that didn't go down into the pit are kind of scrambling around, and some of them seem to be going into the tunnel that you know leads up to your level. Um, so you only have a few moments. What do you want to do?
I say we backtrack the way we came in.
Yes, I agree with that.
Okay. So, who would like to lead the party out of here?
I can try because we're not trying to be stealthy. We're just trying to get the fuck out.
Yeah.
Right. Okay. So yeah.
Is the train, is he still in the form of the monkey? Or the giant ape?
This way.
Yeah, Chomp should be still in the form of the giant ape. Yes.
So let's see. I guess. I mean, are we hiding before this?
Wow.
Right, because they had just the dragon was just like attacking all the kobolds and
Right.
Yeah. You had just gotten over the railing, kind of. He doesn't quite know where you are, but you're about where he last saw most of you, so it's not going to be too long.
I mean,
I mean, I guess I will need to transform back into
Yes.
my normal form to like be able to maneuver and get out with everybody. So,
Yes.
yeah, I'm gonna uneat myself.
Okay. So, as you're all kind of gathering around, starting back towards the entrance that you came in through, Chomps kind of comes back down into his gnome form, and you all start back towards the secret entrance. You had kind of come through the tunnel that came out a door in the wall of the second level of the city here. Was that?
I was just going to say, as we're running, I'm going to tap Crom on the back and cast my 5th Cure Wounds.
Okay. All right. So yeah, you got those. You're taking care of that. So you have 4 more left on the mask.
Yeah.
Okay. All right. Go ahead and roll.
It's 1d8. That's 6 plus. And you said that's 3rd level?
Yes.
6, 12. That's 22.
All right, Crom. You as your lizard friend comes up to you, taps you on the shoulder, you feel suddenly energized a little bit more anyway, and you regain 22 hit points.
Awesome. Thank you.
All right. So, coming up to the door, or where you remember a door being, you see a blank wall. In fact, Crom, as you come near this wall, where you remember coming out of a tunnel here, the small amulet that you have on a chain around your neck starts to buzz as you come closer. It seems that behind you the secret door closed, and you don't immediately see the outline or how to open it.
Wizard, come do this thing.
Wizard
Figure it
door.
out.
Wizard here.
The door was here, and now it is not.
Indeed. Also, are you all trying to move quietly or fast, or what's the tack you want to take here?
I would take fast.
Yeah, I think we were just.
But now we're standing around a wall. So.
Okay. What is it? Sean, Margaret, what do you think about moving faster or stealthy?
I couldn't hear what Kristen and Jordan were saying. I'm thinking fast.
I think that's what they're thinking
Fast.
too.
Fast.
Okay. So, in that case, since we're trying to get out of here, you have, even with the kobolds that were killed, hundreds of kobolds still possibly somewhere behind you, and an angry dragon that as you come up to the area of the secret door, you hear the dragon like a crunch suddenly as a dragon's claw comes over the edge. Who would like to make a check to see if they can figure out how to open the secret door? Reopen the secret door.
I'll do it. What kind of check is it?
Go ahead and make an intelligence check.
What's that say? Oh, 8. An 8.
The
Oh,
Ocho.
man.
Okay. Looking at it, I mean, you can see on at least on the ground in the dust where the door swung, but looking at where the seam should be, you're not sure at all how this thing opens. It seems to be kind of it looks, just looking closer, it's made of some type of bricks. rather than stone, which a lot of the walls around here are made. Yeah, that's about all.
Yeah, I still got kind of banana brain.
A bit. Anybody else want to take a crack at figuring this out, or
I could.
finding another way through?
I'll look too.
Go ahead and roll
Yeah.
if you want to try to figure it out.
15.
Okay. Sirithus, did you want to try to? Sean, did you want to try to?
Yeah, sorry, I accidentally rolled twice.
Well,
Oh.
did you remember what the first one was?
No, I was using the D&D Beyond thing, and it rolled at the same time.
Ah,
I had it set
okay.
for 2, so I rolled again.
Okay.
Let me see here. Well, let's see. $25, I guess.
25. All right. So Zipple, as you kind of take a look around the same crack and kind of try to get your claws in, you find a little bit of of the actual seam and start trying to pull. While Sirithus, taking a look at the area around it, notices a small rune, a dwarven rune, which you recognize from some of your studies as it's just a simple touch here kind of rune, and as you place your hand on it, the wall starts to open. You can all rush through, and as you do, the second claw of the dragon comes over the side, and the head starts to come up. So yes, if you could all make a general athletics check to see how fast you're going to be able to get out of here. Okay.
14.
14.
I'm still scared. I rolled a 3.
3. Okay.
4.
4. All right.
Man.
13 for Sirthus.
13. Okay, so not the fastest. As you all are kind of tripping over each other to get in the small opening that is, because as the door comes open, it's not very fast. You're all trying to get through it once. Oh crap! I left my dice over there. Give me 1 second. Let me see something. Okay. As the head of the dragon starts to come up over the side, you see one of the claws, kind of a piece of rock breaks off beneath it, and it kind of slips back down, and so it's not able to get up right away, and all of you are able to get into the tunnel. Are you going to try to close it behind you, or just keep running straight out?
I guess we just roll, right?
I mean,
How hard is it to close?
well,
I mean,
maybe
you don't know exactly.
maybe there's a room to close it.
That is a good point.
I would say if you want to try, but I'm gonna run. My character, I'm just running. Bye.
All right.
I'm running.
All
I'm
right.
going to help try to close the door.
Okay. Anyone else?
I'm going to hang out on the side of the door. Someone said that they were going to try to close it, right?
Yeah.
Yeah, Zip.
Okay, yeah, I'm going to stay on the side of the door in case there's some kind of fire come rolling out.
Okay.
And try to give him a hand.
Okay. The two of you then, could you please make an intelligence check to see how to open or close the door from the inside, as it swung out towards you as it was opening, and there doesn't seem to be a handle or anything.
14.
Okay. And Sean?
13.
I mean, looking at this inside and having known and seen the small little marking on the outside where the rune was to open it. It takes you a moment as the dragon continues, and its head is now coming over level with you and looking around. Hasn't quite caught a sight of you yet, but you're able to find a similar marking on the inside, and as you place your hand over it, the door starts to swing slowly shut. As it does, though, the dragon sees the movement, and its head that was snaking around, kind of looking around, trying to focus in on anything, snaps over towards where you are and immediately lunges over the side. It's going to be a race to see whether... I mean, the tunnel you're in is not large enough to admit the dragon. But, parts of it might be able to get in. So, are you going to take off after everybody else as the door starts to swing closed?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay. So taking off after everybody else, you're fairly exhausted, having spent a lot of your magic and energy. Cirthus, you have fallen into a dragon's pit and carrying kind of what you could out of it. Zippel and the rest of you as well. Just, you're fairly hurt, a little bit singed. Yeah. As you run out, you hear the door kind of grinding close behind you, and as you do, you get a couple, maybe 50 feet up the passage, kind of always glancing behind you as you see it closing before you hear this loud crash, and the door suddenly it had a few feet left, but suddenly comes closed and even seems to jam into place a little bit, and then you hear another crash behind you. The dragon seems to be trying to get through. Yes. The rest of you, having had at least a few seconds head start, are a ways up the tunnel. You start, the other three of you, passing the remains of the spider you had fought. It's still kind of smoldering a little bit, because it had been lit on fire, if I remember. You see, actually... Let me see something. Yes. Roland, as you're running through and looking around, you see a familiar glow of spider eyes around parts of the ceiling, as the little bit of light you have with you, the little bit of smoldering remains that are left, are reflecting off of other spiders' eyes in here, not nearly as large as the one you had previously killed, but at the same time, they seem to be watching you, not necessarily moving a lot, but you catch kind of this odd green and purple glow suddenly in a few of the eyes, as if something flashes across some of the eyes, just watching you.
Okay.
Yes. Zippel and Cirthus, if you could make one more athletics check to see how quickly you get away from the door.
I got a 9.
Okay. And Cirthus?
8.
Okay, so not fast is the answer. It's still tripping over as the dragon kind of shoves into the door, and finally you see one of the claws bust through. There's rock falling from the ceiling around you. You start tripping a little bit. Just finding your footing and getting your breath back in to be able to run out of here is seeming very hard. And as it does... Whoa, D6s, come here. Could you both make a dexterity saving throw?
$11.
Let's see. Dexterity, natural 20, no modifier.
Okay. All right. How am I doing this then? Because on saving... Well... Is a saving throw an ability check? suppose it is. It's still a natural 20. Yeah, okay. Sorry, I have to count. Give me 1 second. Okay, so you both take 36 fire damage as the fire breath lances out and comes in. Even around the corner you went around, it seems to follow it around as just this wall of flame and seems to be burning even the rock around you. Cirthus, you take half damage, down to... What's half of 36? Sorry, my brain just blanked. 18. So you take 18 fire damage. And actually...
Is that from the saving throw?
Yes.
And then I have resistance
Then
to
you have
fire.
resistance, so you go down to actually 0 fire damage as you kind of hunker
I
down.
have resistance.
You also have resistance, so you take half damage then. So
Oh, thank God.
so you take 18 fire damage as it comes around you, both having resistance, but you, Zippo, still feeling the flames as it kind of sears you a bit and chars the edge of your cloak. It seems as it stuck its head in, you notice this dragon is so big, it's not able to fit much more than its nose into this tunnel that you're in. This is a huge animal, so it's not going to be able to chase you directly. And as you continue running out, the other three of you, are you waiting at the entrance, the outside entrance for the other two, or are you just still running? What are you doing?
Are there any immediate dangers that we see when we get to the outside?
Make a perception check.
Okie dokie. Nine. Nine. Anybody else looking?
Anybody else want
I'll do a perception. Yeah, I'll do a perception check.
Go for it.
Perception. 16.
16. All right. Crom, since you did for yours first, as you come out, you don't see a lot. In fact, as you've been in here and kind of slowly first coming through the passage and then trying to figure out what you were going to do with the dragon, the sun has gone down, this being a fairly northern latitude during the winter, and a storm has come up, it seems. You can't see much more than 10 feet from the entrance. Roland, with your elven kind of eyes and eyesight, you can see a little bit further. You don't see any danger other than that the wind is howling outside and there is blowing snow. It does not sound like a nice place to be right now, but at the same time, nicer than a dragon. There are no immediate dangers other than just the freaking cold. As you come up to the entrance and you immediately feel 20, 30 degrees colder than you had inside the cave.
What about the spiders behind us?
The spiders behind you with that roll, you see are slowly following you along the ceiling. Getting a better look at them over this time, you can see that they're probably the offspring of the huge spider that you had defeated in here. However, they don't seem very keen on necessarily attacking you. They're just watching. And you continue to occasionally catch this odd green and purple flash across some of the eyes as they watch you.
Okay, I'm going to tell everybody else too about them.
Okay. Around this time, telling them about this, Zippel and Cirthus run up from behind you, you having heard this huge roar behind you and felt this kind of wave of warmth come out of the cave. A few seconds later, Zippel and Cirthus coming up behind you, both of them kind of smoking off of their clothes. Zippel with a few kind of, burned bits on the back of his neck. but not too bad. Run out of the cave. Yes. What would y'all like to do?
Surthus, can you firebomb all the spiders that are still in the cave so we can stay in the cave?
Firebomb.
Well, flame, whatever, thing you like to do with flames.
Oh, bonfire.
No, when you throw them. I can't remember what it's called suddenly.
So we got spiders in the cave, and
But they're not really getting us.
yeah, but they're friendly spiders, maybe.
No.
Well, they're not necessarily friendly. They're not attacking you. Is about the best that can be said.
Hmm.
Can you put up the hut or something?
It would take a few minutes.
Okay.
I think we need to find some sturdy cover from the skies.
Yes, I would agree with that. I am very warm right now, but I don't feel like that is going to last.
Well, if we got a few minutes, we could put up Liamon's tiny hut.
Well, what do you
I
think?
think that sounds like a plan.
Yeah. Tiny hut.
Well, can we find maybe like a ledge or something that we can maybe put it up under? I don't know. Like along
mean,
the
like
base
to,
of the mountain somewhere?
To like hide us from the sky.
Out of the
Yeah.
way.
From flying fire-breathing lizards.
Well, we could make it. We could camouflage it. If is it like snow on the ground?
I mean,
Like-
looking around, yeah, there's definitely snow on the ground. Like it is storming out. It's blowing mostly, like maybe a 20, 30 mile an hour wind. Like if you went out into it, it would push you a little bit. Like it's pretty nasty out there.
Well, let's make Liamon's tiny hut snow-colored and opaque, and it will just kind of blend in. It'll look like a snowdrift.
Sounds good to me. So I'll do that.
Yeah.
Okay, so you want to go out into the snow a little bit and make Liamon's tiny hut?
Yeah, we can make it warm inside there, so that'll be fine.
Okay. So, moving out into the snow, not far. You are on the side of the mountain, so it is on an incline. There are places where you can find kind of a little bit of a flattening of the hill where there's either large pieces of stone or something like that where you could set up the hut. Who is going to be casting this? Because I know both Surthus and Chomp have it, so...
Yeah, I'll do it as a ritual.
Okay, and how long does that... It's going to be 10 minutes? 11 minutes?
Like 11
I'll-
minutes total or something, or...
I'll use my staff to make a layman's tiny hut so that we have immediate cover.
Oh, yeah, okay.
Oh, you have one in your staff. I forgot about the staff. Wow. Okay.
Yeah,
All right.
that's why I did that.
So, walking out a little bit into the snow, find that you whoever is leading this, just real quick, make a investigation check to see if you can find a large enough flat space on the incline of this mountain to set up the hut. It's not going to be too hard, but still, who wants to try to find that?
I can do it.
Okay, go ahead and roll an investigation check.
I would
You could-
like to. It's like kind of like my speciality.
Yeah, so you could both roll investigation checks, see what we find.
24.
Ooh, wow.
9.
All right, so Roland, this not being, you grew up in the jungle, along the coast. This is not your kind of place. It's not your bag. Cirthus, you've just happened fairly quickly, just looking at the ways the rock formations are and kind of the way they've heaved up out of the ground and things to you think really quick, follow a certain vein of kind of quartz along the side, and you find a good size open space that you knew was going to be there, kind of. And you're able to set it up. You all can come in fairly quickly. And coming into the dome, as he kind of jams the staff down and the dome appears around you, suddenly the noise of the wind becomes a little muted outside. You can see immediately the snow starts to kind of form up against the dome itself. You assume that from the outside it looks like snow, Cirthus, because that's, I'm assuming, what you have chosen, because you can choose the way it looks from the outside. And the inside, it's a nice, 74 degrees, and immediately the snow on the ground where you had cast it starts to melt. Zippo, you immediately feel more at home. All of you feel more at home. You even start to take your coats off, maybe. And yes, you feel immediately safer. Not too long after, as you haven't moved far from the cave entrance, because you can still hear what's going on outside of the dome, you hear this kind of yipping that starts up, this familiar yipping of the kobolds and their odd draconic language that they have. As you see several dozen of them kind of go a little bit past you, a few feet out, just missing where you are. One of them coming fairly close and looking around as they're kind of scrambling in the snow, trying to shield themselves from the blowing ice. But...
Are they saying anything?
Oh yeah, who of you speaks Draconic?
I do.
I do.
I think Roland does.
Okay.
Yeah.
Those of you that speak Draconic hear them saying something to the effect of, because it's like a pigeon Draconic almost, but you hear something to the effect of, we must make up for our sins. We must make up for those who betrayed. Maybe speaking about those who went down into the pit, and just calling to each other, kind of saying, basics. Do you see over there? Are there some over here? With all the wind, they weren't necessarily able to follow your tracks, and the one that comes closest to you does not see the dome itself. With this amount of snow blowing and this low of visibility, it seems to have kept them from seeing. So they, within a few moments, pass on away from you. And with the noise of the wind outside having lessened a bit, you feel a little calmer. Those of you who were burned or clawed by the dragon itself, feeling a little bit like you can relax-ish. But in the meantime, what would you like to do, as usual?
Guess we need to take a rest. Long rest, short rest, something.
How long will the hut last?
8 hours, I think.
8 hours.
I think it would behoove us to rest every little bit of that time.
In the meantime, you also have the items that Cirthus grabbed from the trove.
What is it?
Oh yeah, I would check those out.
Yes, let us this fruits of our labor. How is everybody feeling about how that went in there?
I think we could have got a scale in another way.
Yeah, because this isn't the last chromatic dragon that we will need to encounter, or unless we find another way to get scaled, but something to think about. Maybe a
More
baby
of a
dragon.
plan. Next time, maybe. Let us look at the pros and cons. We all are very alive. Yes? I have lost several of my most favorite scales where the dragon has burned me. That I would say is a con. I did not get to eat any of those delicious looking kobolds. That I would say was a con. But we did get what we came for. And hopefully we can wait out the dragon, and you made the most of your time, which I congratulate you for, down in the horde of the dragon. So I am very happy with how it worked out.
I'm
Yeah.
not so sure we've made it out of this, so we'll see.
All right. All right. What do y'all want to do right now? Do you want to identify stuff, or are we just going to sleep, or what are we doing?
Yeah, let's get some identification going.
I think, well, I might suggest that we prepare ourselves for another fight, but if that can be done and be well prepared, then that sounds fine.
Okay. I mean, identification is going to take 10 minutes. I'm not going to necessarily count that against the 8 hours of the dome, so if you want to identify, it's not going to get in the way of a long rest, is what I'm saying.
Okay, yeah. I can ritual cast identify. And Surface, if you can do something like that also, we could identify two things at once.
I can, so we can make this go faster.
All right, one sec. Yeah. Okay. So, inside the horde, Surthus had grabbed 7 different things, not including the scale. Now, there was a lot there, and there were a lot of things that maybe you passed over thinking they were interesting, but because you didn't have the highest roll, you weren't able to necessarily pick up what was most important. Now you have the dragon scale. You also have this odd sapphire, first off, that kind of seems to slowly pulse with light. It's slightly smaller than fist size. And I will let you decide who's going to identify that, because there's something else that person will need to do. So, who wants to identify that one?
Flip a coin. Well, let's roll for it.
A pin.
Hold on.
Yes.
Yeah, I guess I'll pick something up and you can pick something up.
Could you both roll?
Yeah.
Both roll a d20. I want to, because the rest of it, I'm not so. Maybe this is giving too much away, but let me know who.
Yeah.
Roll a d20 and tell me what you roll.
Okay, I got
higher low is good or bad. I got a 12.
Okay. Chomp, what'd you get?
I rolled a 15.
Okay, so Chomp ends up identifying this sapphire. Now, maybe it's because you had previously come into possession of that odd ruby that allows you to summon a demon. But you like those shiny kind of things, and it just draws your attention. as you take a look at it, could you please, and look into kind of this deep, pulsing, strange light that comes from within this dark blue sapphire. Could you make an Arcana check? As you are not initially able to totally identify it.
Oh yeah. That's a natural 20 plus 9, 29.
All right. So taking a look at this thing, you initially, through just your identify, while not being able to tell exactly what it is, got the sense that it was something to do with necromancy. And upon taking a closer look, you notice that there's small runes and symbols of different types carved into the gem itself. And you get the sense that this is something that is holding the essence of a being. Yeah. This is a gem that is holding the soul of something. Like, not just a part of the soul, like the ruby that you have, but the entire essence of a whole being is locked inside. And it seems to be emanating quite a bit of magical power.
Do you share this out loud?
Yeah. I mean, I say that. Yeah. Hey guys, this looks like a some sort of soul gem.
Just for giggles, Zipil is going to hold up his holy symbol of Palor and announce to the gem that this is a holy symbol of Palor, and press it against the gem and just see if there's any reaction.
Okay. There is no reaction. The gem continues to slowly pulse with this inner light. Doesn't seem to change in frequency or amplitude or anything.
Okay, well, I don't know.
All right. So that's the first one. Second one, I'm just going to go down the list here. Cirthus, and we're going to go back and forth. You picking up one of the... There were 2 rings that you found, and actually you still have the skeletal hand that they were on. This mostly decomposed arm from the elbow up with an entire articulated hand on it, with just a little bit of connective tissue allowing the bones all to stick together, has 2 rings on it. The first you identify as the Ring of Truths. Once per day while wearing this ring, you can speak a command word, and while active, it will flash red if a creature that is speaking out loud is telling you a lie. At the same time, conversely, if the ring is active, you are under the effects of the Zone of Truth spell. So while you can tell while people are lying, you can also not tell a lie when it is active. There is no... Sorry, my brain's not working suddenly. There's no attunement on this ring, so it can just be used at any time. The second ring on this hand, as you take it off and the kind of part of one of the fingers falls off, the bones being not magical, is a second ring called the Ring of the Grammarian. The wearer of this ring can once a day alter 1 letter of the title of a spell to make a different effect. For instance, you could change Cause Fear to Cause Bear. your intention is taken into account, and the DM decides exactly what happens.
Oh my gosh, I love that.
All right, so those are the rings. The next thing you pull out of the kind of small pile that Sirthis has put down, Chomp, you identify the mace of the pacifist. It is this fairly normal-looking iron mace with a leather-wrapped handle. After an initiative roll, each roll that the user does not take an attack, the weapon gains a +1 to attack and damage rolls, up to a max of +4. If you roll a natural 20 while holding this, you can cast Cure Wounds as a reaction and not use a spell slot. And every time you revive someone from 0 hit points, you gain +1 AC for 1 hour. Then, Sirthis, going on to the next thing, it seems to be some type of modified musket, as you had found earlier in the campaign, which you find upon gathering this magical knowledge of it is named Lucretia. It is this long musket. It has inlaid ivory and mithril in the stock, carved with various runes, and it has 4 rotating chambers behind the barrel and some kind of lens contraption along the top. There's a lot to it, so I'm not going to read it all, but suffice it to say, this is a 4-shot before you have to reload sniper rifle. Next, Chomp, since we're taking turns here, picking up this faintly buzzing wooden bottle that looks like a wine bottle. You find it is bottled lightning. It's a dark wooden bottle with a buzzing noise emanating from inside it. Carved in it are the symbols of a lightning bolt and the words "use with care." When the cork is taken out, a lightning bolt will come out and hit something within 100 feet range, doing 1d100 lightning damage.
Whoa!
So it's either a lot or a little, and it's to something random within range.
Wow. Potentially the person holding the bottle as well?
Yep.
What's
Cool.
the range?
Which is
The-
like 100.
The range is 100 feet.
Hachimachi.
I mean, I'm not saying you have to use these things. These are just the things you found.
Is this like the bottle thing's like a one-time use probably thing?
It does not. From Chomp's description of it, you don't get the sense that it's one way or the other. You're not sure. And then finally, I believe the last thing to be identified here. Yep. Sirthis, you identify there was a papyrus scroll inside of a leather case that is mostly rotted off of it. Just parts of it still kind of cling to the outside. The scroll itself, not rotted at all. Opening it up, you see something that is entirely foreign to you. Some type of foreign language, maybe long forgotten. But as you read it and you find suddenly you're able to actually vocalize what seems to be on the page, and you understand it as you say it somehow, even though you don't speak this language. Once per day, you can use this scroll to bind the soul of a recently dead anything to an item of your choosing. So if something has recently died, you can bind its soul to an item.
And
Interesting.
but like, so yeah, I don't know what that means. haunted, make a cursed item, make a haunted item, or
I mean,
Put a
cer-
soul into a gem.
you could do that with this. A gem is an item. Cirthus, make a Arcana check real quick.
Nine.
Yeah, you're not exactly sure what that would mean. Whether you could see the spirit or the soul or not, or whether you could speak to it or not, or just from this, you could somehow bind the essence or soul of something to an item if it was recently dead.
Makes sense for this.
well, I mean, I guess we can just next time we come across a recently dead thing, we'll just try it out. That's my my answer.
Any kind of impression about like the item? Like, does it? It could be anything, like a lump of coal. You just
Yeah, it seems to be any physical like matter, like any one piece of physical matter. So
wow.
it could be any, a rock. It could be a construct. It could be anything.
My shoe.
Exactly, a shoe. Yeah, it's just any item. And yes, those are the things you have found. Would you like to disperse those among the group?
Hey, that is a pretty nice mace you have there. And I was wondering if maybe you wanted, I mean, you're carrying, I want the mace. And I feel like I am the one, well, let's be honest, I will give me the mace.
That's fair.
Give him the mace.
Please.
I mean, Chomp, you have the mace. Do you want to give it to him?
Yeah, I think he would do good with the mace.
And then I whisper, I will heal you first next time we need it.
Okay, cool. I like the what was it called?
Ring of grammar?
The Gramercy ring.
The Ring of the Grammarian. Yes.
Yes. I got my eyes on that.
Okay. Anybody else feel like anything else?
I'm sort of lusting after that sniper's musket.
Yeah.
Okay. Roland likes Lucretia. Anyone else?
I don't want to be greedy, but I am interested in at least studying the scroll and the gem for no particular reason.
Yeah, no reason.
Yeah. Yeah, I think those could go together as a set.
The problem is like set with her new stuff, so y'all had fun with all that. I still got a new toy to play with. I'm good.
Yeah.
All right.
I'm curious.
What was the other ring?
The Ring of Truths.
Oh, the Ring of Truths. Yeah. Hmm.
And the
Bottle
ring.
Light.
Sorry, go ahead.
So there's Bottle Lightning also, and the Ring of Truths.
Are any of these items requiring attunement?
Some of them are. For instance, let me see here. The Mace of the Pacifist requires attunement. Let's see here. The rings do not require attunement. Lucretia does require attunement. The Book of the Dead, which is the scroll, does not require attunement. Neither does the Bottled Lightning. And neither does the Sapphire. Excuse me.
I'm thinking maybe the bottle can be perhaps used as a kind of like a trap if given the opportunity. So I guess I don't. It just depends on who wants to carry it. It's kind of like a party thing, I guess.
I'll carry it. The bottle that we don't have to use, but is totally going to be used at some point.
That's right.
Chekhov's lightning bottle.
All right. And then also the Ring of the Grammarian.
Yeah, I'd like the ring also.
Yeah.
Who's going to carry the Ring of Truths?
Please God, Roland does not want that.
Well, you don't have to wear it. You can just carry it without the effect happening.
Yeah, I can carry it or
Wear it or whatever.
Because without attunement, you can place it on somebody and they cannot speak a lie.
I can place it in the bag of holding.
that's good. Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay. In that case, that's all of it. As you are divvying it up, just kind of looking at your new items, do you all want to settle in for the night?
I have one question about the mace.
Yes.
Does that include spell attacks or just physical attacks?
Which part?
You said if I don't make an attack in a turn,
Yeah.
is that spell attacks or just melee attacks?
So a spell attack counts as an attack.
Yes. I
Yes.
guess I was okay. I wasn't sure if I had missed the melee part because it was like building up a charge, but I got you now.
Yeah, it's got to. If you don't take any attack for 4 rounds, you have a +4 to hit. And then all the other stuff too. It's a pretty good little thing.
I'm also
yes.
curious if anybody has any kind of magic to maybe determine, how do I put this, the morality of the soul within the gem.
Sort of like a detect good and evil or something.
Something like that.
Oh yeah. Does anybody have detect good and evil?
I don't.
I don't, which is why I was trying to press the holy symbol against it to see if it would react.
It did not react. But, for another day. So with the long rest you're about to take, any of you with these things will gain attunement that needed to attune. Not all these things need to attune, of course. Let me make sure everything's good here. Now, the one thing is, Roland, you don't have any room for attunement right now. So you would have to unattune from one of the 3 items you're attuned from to replace it with this rifle.
Oh God, what am I attuned to?
You're attuned
I don't
to
even-
your dagger, the ring of communication, and your longbow.
I can give up Amaterasu. Hold it. What does Lucretia do first? Do I know?
So, getting a eye for it. It has a 120-foot range, just on its own, and does 1d12 with you +7 damage, piercing.
Okay. Yeah, I'll give up Amaterasu.
And it has 2 charges per day, called Deadeye, which uses a charge to focus in on your aim. It extends that aim by 200 feet, and the target must make a dexterity saving throw. On a failure, they take 2d6 extra damage.
Okay.
All right, so you're going to take out Amaterasu?
Yeah.
And put in Lucretia. Okay. It's a pretty sweet gun.
Yeah.
All right. Cool. So, everybody doing that. As you are kind of looking at your new toys, marveling at them, thinking about what you might do with a bottle of lightning, who is keeping a lookout tonight?
I can keep middle watch.
I was going to whatchamacallit. I wasn't going to do it right away, but later. I was going to send out my owl, look around.
Okay.
I'll keep a watch.
All right. So, I mean, we can definitely have several watches over the course of the night and still get a long rest. Just to save time, could everybody taking a watch, which is going to be Cirthus with Casilda, and then Zippel and Roland, could you all make a perception check?
Oh, poor Roland. He got an 8.
Good to know.
22.
22.
18 for Sir Casilda.
18 for Casilda. Okay. Roland, let's say you took first watch just because. So taking a look out, you once again at one point see more of the kobolds moving around. You can tell them they carry torches occasionally, and even through the thick, dense cloud cover and fog and blowing snow, you can occasionally catch a glimpse of the fire of the torches. They never come too near to you. But yes, taking second watch, Cirthus. You, with Casilda, going a little bit further out, at one point you catch this gout of flame coming off of part of the mountain, as it seems the dragon, in its anger and frustration, is just breathing fire. It's a ways off, and yes, it doesn't seem to come any nearer to you. And then finally, Zippel. As you kind of wake up later in the night, very, very early in the morning, looking out into the darkness, you said you had a 22?
I did.
So, with a 22, at this point, you don't see any of the kobolds again, nor do you see another gout of flame or anything like that. But at one point, maybe a couple hours into your go, you see what looks to be some kind of movement a ways, not too far off, but a ways off, maybe 40, 50 feet through the blowing snow that kind of ebbs and flows kind of in intensity. You catch this glimpse of something moving. At first, you can't quite tell what it is. As it seems to be coming nearer to you, you see it looks like a figure in some type of cloak. Maybe this brownish, yellow, mustardy something color. You're not sure if it's just dirty in another color or if that's its original color. And as it seems to get closer, you realize it is heading directly for your dome. And as it gets closer and closer, it stops maybe 5 feet away from the dome, facing you as you're looking out. You're aware that it can't see you, but it seems like it's, even though you can't see the face or eyes inside this hooded cloak, you feel like it's looking at you.
I'm going to stand up and I'm going to pull my holy symbol out and let it dangle, but move my foot over to like one of my sleeping companions where if I need to, I can like kick them awake. And I'm going to whisper hello in Draconic.
As close as this got, did I see it?
I mean, you not ever sleeping. You didn't necessarily see it until Zippel suddenly kind of stands up, takes out his holy symbol, and you, seeing this happen, looking over, you suddenly realize that there's a figure standing stock still in this kind of billowing cloak, 5 feet from the dome, and you can also see it.
Since I only need 4 hours of meditation, I'm probably awake. Can I see it?
I mean, you can also, if looking over, if you are awake, you can see it. As you're watching, the figure extends a hand, which, as it comes out, you see is gloved. It looks like in maybe dark brown leather gloves. And it opens its hand to you in such a way that you can't hear anything, but you get the sense that it's saying, "Can I come in?"
Do I see that the other two are awake?
Yeah, it's easy enough. You can definitely see that the other two are awake and here in the dome.
The all of hospitality is all well, but I do not know if we are posed any danger by this one.
Just curious, have we short or long rest?
I mean, you're close to the end of your long rest. I'd say you're close enough that you've long rested. It's not quite like it was already nightfall, but you're in the northern latitude and it's winter, and so you're getting close to the end of that 8 hours. You're close enough, yeah.
With daylight savings time, we're good.
Yeah, with daylight saving time into effect, and depending on, you're not in Arizona, you're good, yeah.
Time is a flat circle, so I feel like we're always taking a long rest.
I mean, if you're in D&D, you're always trying to. In any case, this figure standing in front of the three of you now awake, or currently awake, kind of in a very friendly, kind of pleading gesture, seems to be wanting to come into the dome. Now, to give permission, it would have to be you, Sirthis, because you are the creator of the dome.
I think somebody, I don't know, we can't talk out of it, can we?
I mean,
We can't cast spells out of it. We can't.
you can't cast spells out of it. Yes.
Can you let
Okay.
me out?
Oh, yeah.
Yeah,
Yes. Yeah.
as long as I don't leave.
I can.
Zippia, I'm going to hand you the Ring of Truth before you go out.
I take it.
Okay. Are you gonna wear it?
No.
Okay.
Do you want me to go and treat with this apparition?
Well, we need to at least see what it looks like underneath that robe. What kind of creature it is.
Okay. Yeah, I mean, I'll have my mace out and my shield on and the ring in my hand, but I'll go out.
Okay. Stepping outside the dome, you are immediately blasted by sub-zero temperatures. Real quick, could you make a Constitution saving throw?
That is a 12.
All right. Immediately upon stepping out into this freezing cold, you take 4 points of cold damage as it bites into you, not at all being used to this kind of thing. But you're able to take it well enough. It just immediately, you like kind of shrink in, and it seems almost, the cold seems to be clawing into you. Getting closer to this figure, standing directly in front of it, make a perception check.
That's 11.
11. It is strangely hard to see into this creature's or person's, what have you, cloak hood. It is a very deep hood for first. Just looking at it, it seems to come well over where the face might be. You get the sense that it's definitely humanoid, and you can get just the kind of a glimpse, just with a little bit of starlight and moonlight that comes down through the storm and reflects off of the bright white snow. Just the glimpse of what looks to be some type of human-ish chin.
This one is Pelor, born of the noble fire, sworn to the sun god. Who is you?
You see the chin move slightly, and parts of the lips come into view. You can see that there's like this slight half smile on the face, and you hear a voice say, "Yes, it is good to see you. I would converse with you and your group. May I come in?"
What group do you mean? How do you know who I am? Why do you not identify yourself?
I see many things, and I would like to get in to speak with all of you.
Then you will not mind answering one question and doing a simple task?
Of course.
Put this ring on, please.
Okay. You extend the ring to him?
Yes, I do.
He immediately kind of I'm afraid I won't be able to do that. And as he actually reaches out towards the ring, as he does, his hand passes through yours. As if he's not even there.
Well, this complicates things. I don't know that I can let you in, you pale apparition, without knowing your intentions for true. Either way, it is not my decision to let you into the place that may or may not be behind me.
He says, "Well, that's fair." And then, taking a step to the side, he steps past you and passes through the dome.
Okay, well, if you could do that all the time, I don't see the point of me coming out here.
The rest of you, those of you awake anyway, seeing him pass through the dome, he immediately puts a hand up and says, "Don't worry, I'm not actually here. But I was trying to be polite. I have need of talking to you. Can we sit?"
Please, would you let me in? It's very cold.
You can come in and out.
Okay, thank you.
Coming back in, the figure in the robe, you still haven't quite seen the face, but he immediately kind of sits down, cross-legged, it seems, on the ground, puts his hands on his knees, and waits for the rest of you to, I don't know, respond.
I'm gonna just to roll into Draconic. I'm gonna let them know that this guy wouldn't let the ring on. Put the ring on. I could try to destroy undead or turn undead.
Okay. Roland, you hear Zippel say that in Draconic. Cirthus, you're not exactly sure what Zippel is saying. And the figure that has kind of sat down now in the tent also does not respond or seem to react.
What happened?
I mean,
Yeah.
he passed directly through your dome without problem and sat down inside with you.
My hand is on my rapier, but I'm not going to draw it.
All right. Seeing this, he says, please, please, there's not much you could do to me. There's also not much that I could do to you. It's okay. Please, sit down. I will explain.
I'll take my hand off my rapier.
Cirithus?
I'm just there in the dome.
Okay. At this point, Chomp and Crom, you have heard voices and kind of been woken up by this, and you see within the dome with you this figure sitting in this dirty yellow-brown robe, cross-legged in front of you.
I'm sorry, I didn't realize we were having company. Guys, what's going on?
Oh, so I was doing my watch, and then there was this man's outside, and I was like, I'm going to go investigate. But then he's apparently like a ghost or something, and he went through and he came into the hut, and I couldn't stop him.
Oh, okay. Well, just checking. We'll see you guys in the morning. No,
Did you just fall asleep? Yes.
Yeah, no, we get up and say, well.
Crom's just really confused. I don't know.
Okay.
I'm very groggy.
So this is ghost person?
As you say that, the figure puts up a hand. You see, once again, this hand, it has 5 fingers on it, is in a brown kind of leather glove, and he says, well, no, not exactly. I'm what you might call an astral projection. My actual body is on another plane of existence at the moment. I have for many, many years watched the material plane, wanting to return, but not seen much way to do so until you picked up something of mine from that dragon.
Something of yours, a former possession?
Yes, a spell of mine. He gestures over to Cirithus. You have my scroll. There's something about the previous possession of it that it enables me to more focus my essence and communicate with you. And also, you seem to have been fairly capable at, well, not dispatching that dragon, dealing with it. So you may be able to help, is what I am hoping.
We don't even know who you are. You won't tell us?
Oh, yes, I'm sorry. I wanted to make sure that, for the sake of brevity, my name is Azatur Kaiwan. It has been, I'm not sure how many years since I was on the same plane as you are. Let us say that the gods still walked among us when I last walked on the prime plane. In fact, that's part of the reason I was accidentally cast away, I suppose. Near the end of what you call the calamity, just before the divergence, when the prime gods locked themselves, as well as the betrayer gods, away beyond the material plane, I was a mage. In one of the many city-states that existed, trying to battle against the betrayer gods. I was attempting to help with the banishment of Tharizdun when part of the prime trammels and the rites of banishment caught me up, and I've been trapped in kind of a in-between place since then. Does that at least explain who I am?
It's a story.
It
I have
is.
never heard.
You can call me. I mean, Asator Kaiwan is not exactly the easiest. My nan called me Asa, if that helps.
I don't see
Does
how.
this ring a bell to anybody?
Anybody want to do a history check?
Yeah, I'll do a history check.
I would like to do an insight check if that's all right.
All right, history check first, and then insight check. What do we got?
$22.
22 on the history check. You recognize definitely parts of the history here. The calamity, which was the war between the betrayer gods, why they became the betrayer gods, in fact, and the prime deities, and then the divergence when the prime deities locked all gods away from the material plane. You know of these things, and they sound. I mean, it is as he's describing them. You've never heard of a mage taking place or taking part in the specific banishment of Tharizdun, the chained oblivion. And if he is telling the truth, then he has been in this in-between place, as he says, for at least 800 years. What do you
Right.
got for what's the inside check?
I just want to see what kind of vibe I'm getting off this dude.
All right, what did you roll?
That's a 9 insight. That's a 24.
24. Okay. I mean, you get the sense that everything he has told to you has been the truth. I mean, he is here because he is, as he says, trying to get back into the material plane. He was cast out during the battle with Tharizdun. As far as you can tell, this is all true.
And that's the part that causes concern, as far as I can tell.
I'm always gonna say, as far as you can tell.
Yeah, no, I'm just.
So, what does he want from us?
He hasn't said yet.
What do you want from us?
Yes. Well, as I was saying, you seem like capable beings, fairly powerful, and definitely able to deal with certain elements that might be needed upon being able to free me, as it were. Now I can reward you, of course. That scroll that your associate carries is, of course, only the smallest part of what we are able to do in the Age of Arcanum, as you call it. I've been able to keep up with the basic goings-on in the world. After a fashion, it is hard. Time flows differently where I am than where you are, as well as there are other things, of course, to deal with, other entities and beings here. But I believe that there is a way for us to possibly benefit each other. You releasing me from this unintended prison, as it were, and I teaching you much along the way.
Yeah, so who put you there?
Well, it was part of the rites of prime banishment, and as he says this, and he said it just a few minutes ago, or a few seconds ago, you've heard of the rites of prime banishment. It was, and the prime trammels were the method with which the prime deities locked away the betrayer gods. They are these extraordinarily powerful items that were inexorably linked to the spells that went with them that could keep a god level being out of an entire plane. in the end, when all of them were applied and the prime deities retreated from the material plane, it created something called the Divine Gate, which keeps all gods out of from directly interfering and coming into your plane of existence. What he's basically saying to you is that he was caught up in that when Tharizdun, the last of the betrayer gods, was locked away.
So your banishment was sort of just collateral damage, or just part of the spell?
Allegedly.
I
Just
mean,
one.
yes. I mean, you could check. I'm sure there must be some mention of me in the histories. I've given you my name. I can.
Several of us are very big historians, and they have never heard of you.
Interesting. Well,
I have a.
Yes.
This one has a question for you. Earlier, you said that you had been watching us for some time. No.
Well, I've been watching the world for some time.
You said you were also bound to this scroll that we just found in the cave of a dragon.
Not bound to so much as I created it, and I'm not sure if you're aware of how arcane magic works, but part of myself, part of the self is used to cast a spell or bind something or the like. Now that part of the self can be regenerated fairly quickly often, but the part that has been bound or used, if still in existence, there are ways, if one knows how, to detect such a thing or track such a thing. When this gentleman here, he gestures towards Cirthus, retrieved from the dragon's hoard my scroll that I wrote, I was aware of it. Not having a whole lot to do in a demi-plane than sit around and spy on the rest of the world, as it were. It was very apparent suddenly that another intelligent being of a non-evil nature had picked it up, at least.
But you said you had known of us for some time, and now you're saying that you just became aware of us still, so I don't understand.
Well, specifically, like I said, time doesn't work where I am the same way. In fact, this conversation takes quite a bit of energy. Upon becoming aware of you, I how to explain this? Went back and just caught up, I suppose you could say.
What would happen afterwards?
After what? I'm sorry?
You got what you wanted? What would happen?
I mean, I would return to the plane, continue seeking out knowledge. I mean, from what I've seen, I'm quite a bit more learned than even the most powerful mages of your day, I might provide guidance for the worlds of men, elves, dwarves, that sort of thing.
Okay. So this man's plan seems to be come back out of a castaway existence and then just become the leader. No?
I don't think we should help him.
I do not know that I trust him.
Yeah, I think at least not until we can verify his story some more or get some more, external validation, confirmation.
Well, I mean that's quite fair.
Don't worry too much. Let's just do it. Just do
You know
it.
what?
Can
It's
you
it's.
said
I
you
understand. It's okay. It's okay. I understand.
you said
Yes.
you said time works differently where you are. Can you look forward as well?
Looking forward is different. What is forward has not happened. What is past and can be read like a book, if you know how.
Would you be able to find us without your scroll?
I would be able to, now that I know you. I do. I was not necessarily aware of you in your terms of things before this, or before. I'm sorry, I'm getting mixed up. In my timeline, I was not aware of you before this. In any case, like I said, it's hard to explain. Looking at you, Zippel, he kind of as he has now gone to move his hood back, and you see what looks to be a human, the image anyway of a human male, kind of sandy blonde hair, a little bit longer, not quite shoulder length, a goatee of the same color, little bit of crow's feet around the eyes, makes him look like he might be maybe early 40s or so, but it's hard to tell. Looks like a nice enough guy, but as he looks towards you, Zippel, he says, I believe there is something, at least, that I can say that lends some credence, at least for you, to what I'm saying.
This one would love to hear it.
Well, to help release me, you will need to find the stone rings.
Go on.
I think you know what I'm talking about.
Go on.
Stone rings.
Yes, I had. Well,
Reach into your pocket,
No.
What?
draw out the drawing you drew of your dream, and show the
I mean,
others.
I already told them about it, and I was going to refresh them, and now you're. Yes, I had the dream back in the city, and I asked the Catwoman, what is it? The Sphinx. It's a cat lady. Let's be honest. I asked the Sphinx about it, but she didn't know, and I asked somebody else about it, the book lady, and they'd say it has to do. Don't worry about it, okay? It's just Palor stuff.
Yes, and as this is your deity, what I'm saying lines up with what he has shown you, yes?
Okay, so what do you need from us again? You need us to.
So, well, let's get down to brass tacks then. What I need from you is to go to a place that not many mortals have been. I need you to access a very powerful magical construct that can channel enough energy to allow me back into your plane, my home plane of existence, and free me from this. He seems to look around him as if he's seeing something that you're not. From this existence I am in now.
Have you asked others to do this?
There have been others. Not all have been amenable. There have also been those who were not, how do you say this? Well suited to the type of communication we are engaging in right now.
You are an enemy of Tharizdun, right?
Well, of course. I was there when he was banished. I am here because he was banished. I don't regret that. However, I would very much like to be brought back.
Right. So we bring you back, and this in this way, it would just be like a one-time thing. Like you would be able to cross over. We're not going to like open up a gate to that astral plane and
Well, it would take quite a bit of energy to keep that gate open. I'm hoping
right.
that there could be the energy to at least allow me to slip through.
see.
Super sketch.
Well,
Yeah.
I can give you more information as well.
We've got other stuff we gotta do though.
Well, you know this. I mean, I could help. I'm aware of what you're trying to do. I would also like to, if he's trying to, if it is trying to escape again, I would like to help.
I don't know. I want to conference. Can I conference with you guys real quick over in the corner of the hut?
What?
I need to have a conference with you guys. Hold on. Let's huddle.
The figure stands and nods his head, puts the cloak back up, and withdraws outside of the dome.
Okay.
Which honestly,
Yeah. It's just that it keeps appearances.
It's polite.
Yeah.
Okay.
So I could ask my sword a question again also. I think.
oh yeah, you want to ask some divination questions?
I could.
I have also dispel divination, if that would help us at all. It seems very coincidental. I don't know that I completely trust him.
I am curious if he's been observing the material plane, if he could assist us on the other items that we need.
I mean, he could definitely be helpful to us.
But he's just telling us that he's against Tharizdun. Why did he get banished at the same time?
Yeah.
Not even that, because, I believe, accidents can happen. And I'm sorry for interrupting you, but, we have several great readers and historians in this group, and they have never heard of him.
Yeah. I would think that if he was a big-time power player, we probably would have heard.
Or somebody would know something. Like, we could...
So should I ask the knowing mistress?
Yeah, what you want to ask her?
I don't know. What should I ask?
Well, actually, yeah, it is the next day now, so you can, yeah.
What do y'all think? What should I ask?
I mean, is it just as easy to ask her if this man is to be trusted? If he means us harm? If he is on this side of, even if he is on the right side or not?
Okay.
What do you guys think?
Yeah, I guess ask if he is who he says he is, and if
I get 3. I think I get 3, right?
yeah, and they got to be kind of like yes/no questions.
Yeah.
Yep.
Okay. I would like to activate my sword and ask it a question.
Okay. As y'all watch, Crom takes out the kind of massive piece of rusted metal that is her sword, places it in front of her, and stares intently at the etched 3 eyes, the 3-eyed face that is on the blade. What's
Sorry. Nothing. I said Thundercats.
Thundercats. Ho. Um, and Crom, as you kind of stare into the face, the edges of your vision start to blur and focus down into the face, and you find yourself once again back in the bottom of the well. In this gray, stone-floored kind of looking space that fades off into nothing around you. And before you, you see that same slightly taller than you figure of the knowing mistress. She kind of extends one hand in welcome and asks, "Yes."
Oh, hi. So, question. This guy over here, is he who he says he is? Is he being honest about his identity?
She cocks her head a little bit at you and says, "Yes, he has been honest with you."
Okay, also, is he, okay, I have to be careful how I say it, should we help him?
Oh. She furrows her brow, thinks for a moment, and says, "That is not something that I can."
It's a should.
As I say, yes or no. Looking into the things I can see, there will be good if you do. There also will be bad, and vice versa if you don't.
That's two then. Okay.
Got one more.
Duh. I don't care about anything else right now. Damn it. Okay, so he is.
Ask if the soul inside the soul gem is good or bad.
I don't care about that. So she said we is good and bad things that could happen both ways. Okay, that's yeah.
Because that's specific.
Yeah. I should have had a better question. Jordan, you're not helping me. He's not helping me at all. He's like, I'm not there.
I'm not there.
Okay. Is this guy evil?
Oh. She looks at you and says, "Yes."
Okay. Cool. Thank you.
I mean, alignment questions are fairly straightforward, so.
Yep. Okay, cool. Thank you, ma'am.
Happy to help.
Oh, my Google just said something back there. She said happy to help.
She looks at you, nods, and says, "Happy to help."
Ricky.
Okay. He is evil. Thank you. I'm going to draw a little devil next to his name. Okay, got it. Looks more like a cat, but... All right, cool. So I'm back with the group, and I tell them what I found out.
Okay.
So he's evil.
He's evil. He's being honest about his story.
And
There's good things that will happen and bad things that will happen if we help him. But there's also bad
and if we
things and
don't,
good.
right? So
It doesn't matter. We do what we want.
things happen.
It just depends on how much I want to work to do things.
Do you think we should confront him with this new knowledge and see how he reacts?
Basically, just say, so you're evil, right?
So we have it on very good authority that you're an evil man?
Yeah. I should ask, like, is he gonna betray us?
I think that is. I don't know.
Yeah. Well, I mean, we could use him to help us do things. We still need dragon stuff. I don't know if he can help.
Well,
But if he's evil, I'm thinking if he's evil, he may try to impede our progress because he might be working with Tharizdun.
Yeah. Maybe all evil people aren't working together. I don't know. They probably are. Maybe.
Very open-minded of you.
I mean,
Efforts. This is hard.
he did get banished at the same time.
Yeah.
I mean, he could even be, helping with the banishment, but is now like he's pretty much saying, like, I want to come back and I'm so much smarter than everybody here, and I will just rule.
Maybe he wants to get out instead of us letting the other guy out, so he can come here and do bad things. Maybe.
Maybe it's an
That
enemy of
makes
my
sense.
enemy kind of thing.
Yeah.
Yes.
So do we want to help him or not? I'm down for an adventure. Crom's always down.
I will say that I do eventually want to get to this island that has happened to me in a dream, and I think it's very strange that he has been aware of it. But I don't know that I want to help him. But I will, whatever the will of the group is, I will respect.
I am curious what I could learn from someone that creates things like this. Chomp.
Also,
What was that?
I was just going to say again how strange I find it that we have not heard this name brought up. I mean, maybe not so much for me because I grew up in the slums, but for you, that you have never heard of him concerns me.
I feel like, I'm not. My, moral alignments are relative, and I don't really have a problem with working with evil to suit our own ends, and risks are inherent in all these things that we do. So yeah, let's help the evil guy out. Free the evil guy from his banishment to another plane. Bring it on. Right? I mean, we're all agreeing here, right? That's what we're doing. We're gonna free the evil guy from banishment.
Crickets.
Nothing. No support here.
I'll go with you.
I will go.
I'm thinking we may need help with our mission.
I mean, it wouldn't be the first time,
I mean, if we can use evil to achieve good, is it evil? I do not know.
There you go, Z-Peel. Now you're thinking.
Well, it wasn't really like a resounding yes. It is more like a historical, philosophical engagement. One that I would prefer to have is only a philosophical engagement.
I mean, we all had like a loth tramp stamp for a while.
Yeah.
I did what? Please to be explaining.
Oh, that's gone now, right? We got a different one.
No, please. Wait, what you worked with love?
Did he not? Did we not show Z-Peel our sweet tats?
I don't
We
think
just-
so.
We were just. You know, she is a demon and an archfiend and no friend to anyone.
We didn't have a choice.
Yeah, we were
I mean,
kind of
there is
in a
always-
corner.
Yeah.
That there is always a choice, you know. I don't buy that.
We would have died and you never would have met us and your life would be way worse right now.
I think in that case you would have had to accept a happy heroic death. Especially surprised by you, Crom. But we can have this conversation at a later time.
Well,
But then
it's a
we wouldn't be
loophole.
here to save the world from Thera's Doom.
I mean, somebody else would have obviously been chosen to do it, but anyway.
Fascinating. But as you are all
Let-
arguing about this, let's see. Crom, at one point, you glance back out and the figure is gone.
Oh snap. Okay, bye. I guess he doesn't need our help anymore.
Well, no, I mean it takes a lot of work for him to be, present.
Alright.
I have the feeling he'll be able to find us if he needs us.
Yeah.
So we carry on with our plan that we have totally figured out.
Which is what again?
Find more dragon scales.
Yes, that's one I am fine with.
Yep.
He might have known where they were at.
I should have
Well-
asked. Should have asked that.
I don't.
It's yes or no, so that would have been yeah.
That could take a while. Yeah.
I
Like, are they here?
That way.
I maybe know where one is.
Oh.
I hadn't thought about it for a while because it is not a pleasant thought. But I can tell the tale on our way back if you would all like.
Where are we going?
Somewhere where I will not freeze to death, preferably.
Alright.
Where would you all like to go? You have at least some things that you left in Vasselheim, including the automaton.
Yeah.
In my sweet
yeah.
baby boy.
Okay, so you probably want to go back there. Yeah.
Before the Lemus Tiny Hut fades, I would like to do a ritual cast of detect plants and animals for like. I don't know if I can even pick up dragons with that. But that's what I'm looking for. Supposed to be like the closest one within 5 miles.
Yeah, you can. We did last time, so I think we decided you can. So before the hut phase, because you are getting real near the end here, you cast detect plants and animals. You're able to, and you're looking for dragons.
Yeah.
Okay. So looking for dragons, you find there is quite a large presence within that 5 mile radius. It isn't near you at the moment. It seems to be back inside the mountain once again. And there are also a lot of those smaller presences you had found earlier on, which seems to be, around in different places, which you assume is the kobolds, but nothing is very near you, just kind of scattered about around the mountain.
Okay, I will relate that to everybody, and maybe there's a larger group, maybe move away from it.
Okay. All right. As the dome fades, the cold comes in. Once again, that same shock of going from 70-something degree air to -10 suddenly. The sun is just barely coming up on the eastern horizon, the southeastern horizon. Who would like to lead y'all out of here?
I can lead.
Okay. Could you please make a survival check?
Hey, Tim, I had messaged you. Sorry.
That's okay. What, sir? Oh, there it is.
Secrets.
Secrets. I mean, I'm always messaging somebody, so there's lots of secrets passing around. Don't worry.
It's just about spaghetti.
Exactly. Secrets. Wait, who is leading?
I am.
Roland,
I got
you
a
were leading.
19.
19 for
Yeah.
a survival check. Okay, be one second. I gotta write this in. Okay, so with a 19, you're able to getting off the mountain as you're still quite a ways up on the slope of it. There's a couple close calls. Could everybody, just to see, could everybody please roll a stealth check? Tell me what you get.
Nine.
Cool.
29.
That helps.
19.
All right. 19 and 10.
Jordan stepped to the restroom for a second.
How quietly did he step? Because it will just use that.
Jordan!
You got a 39?
No, I think she's just yelling Jordan. That would be a great wizard stealth check.
I one day am going to play a character and just have like massive amounts of stealth because I never have that.
I mean, it doesn't
And
help
I just,
that you're playing a character that wears like heavy armor now.
yeah. So like I got a -1 there. I just one day want to be quiet in D&D.
That would be good. Okay. Let me see.
I'll just roll for him.
Yeah, go for
I
it.
don't. Okay, I don't know what his modifier is, but I got a 7.
His modifier is, I have it all pulled up here.
Okay.
plus 2, so he gets a 9.
Yep.
Okay. Good to know. With that, let me do an average in my head real quick. Okay. Roland, getting everybody out. There is at least 1 or 2 close calls where some small bands of kobolds come fairly near, and you all literally hold your breath to keep from being found before they kind of pass on past you. And being stealthy, you're moving fairly slow, but by the end of the day, you're able to kind of make your way back into the pine forests around the mountain and a ways out before the sun starts to go back down again. And you can either continue on through the night. It's going to be at least another 2-3 days getting back to Vasselheim. So you can either continue on through the night or make camp again. It's up to you. At this point, also, Crom, you have taken a long rest, so you no longer have that point of exhaustion.
Yep, gotcha.
Ziplio, are you going to freeze if we go all night?
It will be fine. I hope. I can wrap another blanket on, and I will. I mean, I won't hold us up. What is a few toes in the service of Paylor?
I mean, yeah. What does everybody else think?
Yeah, it doesn't matter. Jordan.
What?
What did everybody else say? They want to keep going? That's fine. That's cool.
Wait, can it teleport there?
I will
What?
do whatever the group wants.
Can what teleport us?
Me, teleportation circle.
I don't know.
I don't believe that you knew that you were aware of any circles in Vasselheim.
Okay.
Unless because you're not quite, you don't have the spell yet for like just going anywhere you've seen, right?
Right. I got to draw a teleportation circle that is linked to a permanent teleportation circle.
Right, that's what I thought. So yeah, it's. I mean, I'm just asking for the sake of what's going on and just mechanics. If you all are gonna spend the night or keep on going through the night.
We can spend the night.
All right.
I guess.
Yeah.
Yeah. So setting up, Cirthus, I'm guessing since you don't sleep, taking a look out, just resting through Casilda. You want to roll a perception check?
Yep. Let's see here. Ooh, nice. 23.
23.
Natural 20 modified.
Okay.
Yeah.
So just keeping a lookout through your bird, you see over the course of the night, you see one band of those same kobolds, a pretty good sized one, with torches. They pass not amazingly close to you, but a little, close enough that Casilda can see them a ways off. Other than that, a couple other winter owls are out. And that's about it. But waking up in the morning, continuing on. Are you going to continue going stealthy, or are we just going to travel at a normal speed? Because stealth will take twice as long, pretty much.
I say since we're still relatively close to those kobolds that we stealth.
I would agree with that. I think, though we think we are far away from the mountain, this has the two-legged move and not the powerful wings of the dragon.
I agree.
Okay.
Yeah, I want to make waves.
Cool. Everybody roll a stealth check for today.
It's an 18 for Cirthus.
All right.
25.
I got a 0.
No. 17.
17 for me also.
Okay. Whew, that 0 really brings that average down. But let me think. Okay. Over the course of the day, Roland, are you kind of guiding again, or does somebody else want to do it today?
I can do it.
Okay. Roll a perception check.
Natural 20 plus 3, so 23.
Okay. Over the course of the day, you, at one point, even fairly early on in the day, hear the sound of large wings not too far off. And as you kind of you tell everybody to get down and hide in a small kind of stand of shorter pine trees that offer some cover, just a ways off, maybe less than a quarter mile, you see the form of this huge red dragon coast, maybe 50 feet over the tops of the trees. Its head swing either way, kind of on the lookout, and just a little bit of kind of smoke trailing from the nostrils as it seems to be trying to find you. It doesn't seem to see you all. And eventually, hearing the noise of the wings fade, you continue on. Over the course of the rest of the day, you once again a few other times hear it a little further off. Another time you hear a roar, that same kind of whisper roar that you had heard inside the caverns, now a little bit more spread out in the landscape. It almost seems to rumble the earth beneath you without making a whole lot of sound. It's this really odd thing, like it's almost subsonic in some ways. But it doesn't happen upon you. Going through the next night, Cirthus, we're going to say that this next night you don't, through Casilda, see any kobolds or the dragon on this night. And going through the next day of travel, are we want something to go stealthy, or I'm going to ask one more time here because we're getting a ways further to the mountain.
I think we should still try to stealth a little bit more.
I agree.
Agreed.
I got 9.
Wait,
Oh, wait.
she didn't say.
Okay, in that case, could everybody roll? Oh, that was cocked. There we go. Could everybody roll stealth check?
19.
3. A marked improvement.
25.
All right.
9.
Oh, I rolled a 21.
21 and a 9, right? Okay. Okay. So, even over the course of the next day, this time you roll and catch a glimpse a couple more times far off of the sound and shape of the dragon flying. But by the end of the day, you haven't seen it for several hours, and you haven't heard any more roars. You feel by the end of your third day out that you're probably far enough. Yeah, that it has. As you go, the further you go out, the more territory it has to cover to find you, as it's not. It doesn't seem to know which way you went. For the sake of expediency, could somebody roll a d20 for me and tell me what you get? You can choose who.
I'll do it.
Do it.
It's 5.
Okay. So for the sake of expediency, if you had rolled the higher the number you had rolled, the more dangerous it was going to be. So over the next 3 more days, traveling fairly quietly, on the 4th day, you don't hear the dragon at all. Going through into the 5th and 6th day, you don't hear it at all. And by that point, near the end of the 6th day, you see the smoke, and near the end of the day, a little bit of the glowing light of Vasselheim as you come down into the valley. Once again, coming back into the city through the west gates, into the Dusk Meadow, the district of the Raven Queen followers, and then back through into... Oh gosh. Need to find files. There they are. Okay. Back into the quad roads, down into the kind of trading part of the city. You come back to the Slayer's Take, the guild headquarters, which you are now a part of the monster hunters. And it's early evening at this point. The sun has gone down. The whole city, there's a light snow falling, mist kind of rising from the warm streets with this half-frozen mud on them. Many different people passing up and down, all bundled up, as it seems to have even gotten colder since the last time you were here. Different animals pulling carts and being ridden in places, some of which you recognize as things like oxen and horses, others which you're not sure you recognize. There's one you pass that has 2 different horns on its snout and seems to be covered in this long fur and has several dwarves riding on the back on some kind of seat contraption. Another looks like it might be related to an elephant. Maybe it's a woolly mammoth of some type with kind of a longish nose and short tusks coming out and fairly good size. But eventually, coming back to the Slayer's Take, you find your way in. And there is a young dwarven woman who you recognize as Emmy, who keeps the armory, is the only one at the desk right now, as you come into the large open common room on the first floor. Yes, what would you all like to do? You are back in Vasselheim, having found your way back through the wilderness. You were not killed, and you have the next of your dragon scales.
We need to find a place to keep this. Yes.
Yeah, didn't we have oh yeah, we were keeping stuff at the Slayer's Take. Yeah, didn't we have a spot that we were like keeping our stuff?
You did. There's a place that you're keeping some of your stuff at the Slayer's Take, as they have the armory, which is kind of a vault where members can keep their belongings if they need. There is also the fact that you had left the crystals that you had previously gotten with Usu in oh gosh, my brain's not working. In Singorn, in the spires of Urek, in the Elven city. He was the one that kind of set you on this quest, as it were. And in fact, first set you on the first quest that some of you went on to try to take care of those dragon's eggs.
Ah.
Yes.
I have a thought, fellows. The metal child has been around for some time. No?
Yeah, I think he was pretty old.
I will ask my metal child if he has heard of this Azatar Kaiwan.
And we need to power him up.
Yes. Well, I was, if you remember correctly, I was able to do that with the power and the blessing of the sun god who looks out for all of us. But we did need some help to communicate his archaic language into things that we understood.
But how long did that stuff happen?
It is only an idea.
I don't know. I forget the timeline.
Yeah, I don't know. Yeah, sure.
Yeah. I mean, timeline-wise, what are you thinking about?
Like, was the metal child around 800 years ago?
Yes. Knowing what you had figured out about it, yes. It is a remnant of the construct is a remnant of the Age of Arcanum.
Then I will ask the metal child.
Okay. So how would you like to go about that? As it's currently kind of, it's still in your chambers, as it were, here, the suite of rooms that was as provided to you. It is unpowered at the moment, and also missing an arm.
Oh yeah.
Yes, well, one of you will have to explain or maybe put the arm back because I don't know how he's going to react to that.
No.
Oh, also, didn't we were supposed to we were supposed to be taking care of that dragon for a bounty mission, weren't we? Wasn't that sort of thing?
Yeah.
We didn't do it, but
That was a thing.
I mean, nobody meets all of their goals.
Exactly. Okay, so what are we doing?
I'm going to go see my metal child, even if it's just a social visit for right now.
yeah. Guess we need to put the dragon scale in the vault with our other stuff.
Okay. Easy enough done. As you ask the armor keeper, Emmy, she, being this younger dwarf woman, says, "Oh yes, come right in back. We'll have it up in here," and opens this, like, spins the large wheel on the front, opens this huge door, and you're able to put it with the rest of the few things you're storing in here at the moment. But yes, the construct. Who would like to try to power it back up?
I mean, I can try to do what we did last time.
With the coal?
No, was it the coal? Or I did Sacred Flame it.
Sacred Flame last time worked for a few seconds, but didn't last long enough for much. Putting a coal in seemed to last longer, but still didn't last more than a couple of minutes.
I wonder if that sapphire would do anything in there.
That's what I was thinking.
I mean, I can't think of any negative repercussions.
We don't know if it's a good sapphire or a bad sapphire.
Yeah, we don't even know if it'll work. I can only think of one way to find out.
Okay, well, when you get the metal child, you can try it.
Ooh. So who wants to do what here? As you get back to your chambers in this fairly nice looking suite of rooms, the main kind of living room between the few different bedrooms, the construct metal child is still out, kind of laid out on the table in the middle, unmoving. One arm detached on the side, now on Crom.
I'm gonna polish him up a little bit.
That easy enough. There's a couple cloths around, and even a little bit of ointment that's kind of greasy that you can you get him shining in no time.
And I would like to. Well, I will have to find a blacksmith. I want to make him. I do not. Maybe I could. I'm an artisan myself. I want to cover him with decorations of the sun.
Okay. Are you gonna just draw them, or are you gonna like etch them in?
I was thinking etching them, but then I'm like, I don't know if he worships the sun god, and I don't want to be like assuming because he's my metal child that he does or should. So maybe that's a conversation that we need to have.
I mean, you don't want to. You don't want to force your religion on your kids. That's a bad idea.
I'm gonna hold off and just polish him, and I will include polishing Crom's borrowed arm because it's not done unless you do it all.
Okay, Crom, Zipple comes over to you eventually and starts polishing your arm.
No. Thank you. Yeah, thank you.
That is not completely yours. It is a borrowed arm.
Okay, this arm is good for punching too. Do you want to try it out?
I mean, I don't.
Punch! I punch him.
You punch him. Make an attack roll.
Okay. 19, that's unarmed, right? So like
Yes.
Plus your strength.
plus what?
Your strength modifier, I think.
I mean, it's going to be +7, I think.
Yeah, plus 7. So what did I say? 19 plus 7?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
26.
I'm pretty sure that hits.
Yeah, that hits.
And so you take 4 bludgeoning damage, Zipple.
Okay, and I am going to say, okay, well, if we're going to do that, grovel. And I use command.
Make a wisdom saving throw, Chrome.
Oh no! 18.
Your saving
Plus
throw.
2. 20.
Oh no, that worked.
So as he says grovel after getting punched, you feel it start like something start to take hold, but you kind of shake your head, and then you just frown at him. All right.
Okay, but still.
Yeah. What are we doing?
Not polishing my arm.
Is there any lessons
I'm
about
very
consent?
much polishing that arm. It's not yours. But I had mentioned earlier about a dragon, and I don't know if you still want to hear about it or not.
Oh yeah, you know where a dragon might
And
be.
I know a dragon. I don't know if it is one of the dragons, but it is certainly a dragon.
We need a blue and a white and a black.
This one is a black dragon.
That'll work.
Do you remember when we first went into the dragon cave and I mentioned that we had maybe come by order of the Midnight Terror? It didn't really go over well, so I'm sure you are forgotten, but I had thrown it out there as a gambit. The swamps where I was born, there is a black dragon, a nasty creature. It is named Zar, and he was called to us the Midnight Terror. He is a extremely. He is a black dragon, and everything that comes with it, he is. But if we are looking for a black dragon, I know where we can find him.
Perfect. I'm down. Hell down.
Roland, Zirthus, what do you think?
Let's go.
Yeah, I mean, if we know where we can find something, I guess that's our next location.
Are we going to try to resupply or come up with a plan, or do we just want to head out?
Let's resupply and forget the plan.
Hi, yeah.
Okay. In the meantime, did anybody want to try to wake up the child?
I'll just use Sacred Flame, even if it is for a few minutes.
I would like to use that gem.
I see.
and he has a person. The metal child already has a personality, and we don't know. If we knew more about the gem, I would be more agreeable to it.
This thing isn't like a warforge. It's just like a robot thing, right?
Yeah, it's. I mean, it's similar in some ways to a warforge in the way it's constructed, but it's smaller, and maybe by the look of it, more of a prototype to them. Like it's not quite as advanced.
Are you very determined to put the gem in the metal child?
I just think it'd be interesting.
Who has the gem?
I think
I have it right now.
Has it.
Kind of study its nature and stuff.
Right. That's right.
We could try to power it with bottled lightning. I don't, but I'll
We could
think
also
about
kill
it.
ourselves.
Yeah, that, yeah.
Oh, we could stick it in the chest, right? And then we can make we could go someplace safe to make like a string on the topper, and use some pulleys, and then stand way far back, and then just pull the thing and see if it absorbs the energy.
The light, or it could just shoot out, and I don't know, man. I don't know. But the we could put a piece of coal in there, or that sapphire. I mean, that sapphire might work too. Just saying.
I mean, you could also put your ruby of Lolth in there. I'm sure that would be fine.
That is a no.
I hadn't even thought about that.
Just throwing that out there.
Well, we know what's in the Ruby of Loth.
I don't, but I don't want it.
Farm it. Nice boy.
We'll have some kind of fail-safe. We'll tie a string around the ruby or around the sapphire, right? And we'll put it in there, and then we can just yank the string and pull the sapphire out if things go wrong.
You place a lot of faith in string.
Can never have enough string. Always gotta have string.
I think that sounds like a great plan.
Well, who wants to do what here?
I think it's a good idea.
I do not.
I mean, so technically, Cirithus, you're the one holding the sapphire, and also technically, Chomp, you are the one who bought the construct.
Yep.
Yep.
And I have its arm.
I mean, yes,
Well, it's
that's still true.
Sharing it or something.
You are the most closely related being here to it, yes.
I mean, not.
I mean, it's possible that nothing will happen.
Yeah.
No.
I'll let you cross my arm.
Put in the sapphire.
We know nothing about the sapphire.
And this is how we learn things.
There is in this very building, there is a Sphinx who will answer any question you have.
We don't have access to the Sphinx, but we do have access to the sapphire.
Why do we not have access to the Sphinx?
Because she's not in the room.
I mean, you could stand to lose a few weights, so go find her.
Put the sapphire in after that.
Fight.
No, if the Sphinx lady says there is nothing to fear from the sapphire and it houses no evil spirit, This is a thing of 200 pounds of metal, and we're just going to give it evil sentiments? Possibly.
Why are you so afraid?
Good.
He's been sheltered.
The fact that any of you made it past being a hatchling amazes me. It is on your heads.
Does that mean yes?
It means it is on your heads, and I will not heal you if it does anything to you.
I feel that this is probably less dangerous than we just dealt with.
Cirthus, you're holding the gem. Yeah.
I'd rather use the Gem of Loth first.
No.
Now,
I mean,
No
that's
loft.
definitely got to be bad.
I said Gem of Moth.
The gem of moth.
Mothra?
Well, yeah. I mean, yeah, I could use the ring of the grammarian and use the gem of moth.
Moth. I don't know if it works like that. It'll change a spell. It won't necessarily change an item.
Yes. Well, I'm looking over my spells and coming up with some real fun ways to use that ring.
Yeah, I know.
I'm excited.
So, what's happening?
Yeah, what is happening? Somebody's either we're doing it or we're not, and we're gonna move on.
Surface, do it.
Go on, Cirthus.
Pop it in.
With my gem or your gem?
Use the sapphire.
All right, I use the sapphire.
Okay. You place it in a place as it comes near, just like you had all experienced in the first time with the coal. Something seems to kind of suck it into place for the last maybe inch of travel.
Okay.
And the eyes immediately light up. The construct sits up and looks around at you. It looks down at its left arm, and then it seems to its shoulders kind of heave, and it almost looks like it sighs.
Aw.
And then it just looks around at you.
mental child, are you all right?
It nods.
Holy shit, it worked.
Mental child, are you possessed of a different sentence?
It shakes its head.
Mental child, how are you feeling about the arm situation?
It looks.
It is only temporary.
It looks back at its left stump, looks up at you, and puts one thumb out and down.
Yes, well, I will. We will get you a better arm.
But in general, it seems to be reacting the same way it did when it was previously conscious.
Yeah, see? Everything's fine.
Yeah.
Now my question is the gem retrievable?
I don't know. Do you want to try to pull it out?
Before we pull it out, shouldn't we ask it about the Aussie creature we met?
Yes.
Some of us are trying to have a conversation with their son.
Roland, do you want to ask it or?
Sure, I'll ask it.
All right.
Metal Child, do you know? I can't remember his full name. I just forgot it. Ozzy. Have you heard of a mage named
Azatar
Ozzy?
Kaiwan.
Thank you. Have you heard of him?
The metal child looks over at you as you're talking, kind of cocks his head, and then nods.
Is he to be trusted, mental child?
He kind of looks over at you as you're saying this. metal kind of strips that make up his eyebrows kind of go into a slight frown. He gets up off the table and kind of awkwardly, as he's not used to balancing yet without a left arm on, kind of slides sideways as he's trying to walk, and then regains his composure, gets up to the same desk he had been writing on before, and starts writing on the kind of notepad that's there fairly quickly. Once again in Zemnian. Which I don't think any of you speak.
How did we read it before?
Comprehend languages.
Ah. I think that's a surface thing, correct?
Yeah. Working on it. Give me 10 minutes.
Giving him 10 minutes. You all kind of wait there, like filing nails, whistling, folding your arms, looking up at the ceiling.
Metal Child, would you mind if I embellish you with the symbols of the sun god?
They just kind of stand there. They don't say no. In any case,
You had to decorate him with stickers, like Johnny 5.
Yes. After the 10 minutes are up, you're able to, in any case, read it. He goes into a little bit of a description, and he did write quite a bit. Basically, Azatur Kaiwan was known as a jerk, a fairly experimental mage who was one of the first to create or try to create some of the god killer weapons during the calamity to defend themselves to defend the humanity against the betrayer gods. He was not as much into constructs or robotics as the creator of the Metal Child was, but was more into trying to seek out the connection between divine and arcane power, as they're mostly considered to be entirely separate, but he had a theory that they were actually linked in some way. Like the construct seems to know a good bit just generally about this individual. Yeah.
Did he work with Halas in anything? I know you said they did separate, had separate specialities, but
he shakes his head, or they shake their heads. Sorry.
Did the people live in fear of Kaiwan?
They shake their head again. And in the written description, they kind of outline that this Kaiwan was considered to be just a jackass, kind of. Not somebody who was necessarily always the most popular, although in certain sects he was very well known and at least respected.
Do you grow tired, Metal Child?
They shake their head. They see. I mean, it's been a few minutes now, more than 10, in fact, and they don't seem to be depowering as they had before.
This is a great idea.
It was a risk. Would we be wise to try to help Kaiwan if we were in a position to do you think?
They shrug their 1.5 shoulders. Yeah, unsure.
His specialty seems quite useful for what we're trying to do.
Yeah, it's very, very applicable.
And yet we have from a very good source that he is evil. Ugh.
Yeah, that's a cookie. I mean, that's a pickle you're in. Cookies.
Yeah, but like evil according to who? Because if he's making god killer weapons, then of course the gods are going to call him evil.
But
Good
even
point.
I mean, so this is my thought. You know, the god also. What you say is very true. The god may find him evil because he creates god killer weapons, and they find that to be abhorrent. The god also said that we would cause equal parts good and bad by helping him. And he himself has said that he thinks that he would be in a better position to rule the world than anybody else. So I think he just wants power when he is freed, but mortal power, you know, not to rewrite the flow of time or anything. I think he just wants to be in charge and to be loved and to rule.
We don't really know much of Tharizdun's motivations, do we? Considering its nature.
I mean, considering what you know about Tharizdun's nature, it wants to wipe out everything in existence.
Lesser of two evils.
Yeah, of the two, one is obviously like a little better.
I mean, this is something to definitely think about. I think for this session, though, I'm going to leave it here. So,
Yeah.
yes, think about where you would like to go next on which part of which quest you want to try out. But otherwise, thanks for playing, y'all.
Thank you.
Yeah, thanks.
Yeah.
Thanks a lot. I do have a question.
Yes.
When might we level?
Oh, yes, actually, I had a plan for that. It's now.
Okay.
I had been thinking that it was probably going to be after this one, just because we're kind of going by milestones, and yeah. So we're going up to level 10. Go ahead and yeah, do everything you need to do. Pick out new spells or whatever you're getting at level 10. Get your new hit points and everything, and we will meet in 2 weeks.
All right.
I have a question also about that ring because I've been thinking about that too.
Which ring?
About the names change. How does that work? Can you have to change one of the letters? Can you switch letters? Can you delete a letter?
I mean, it's change one of the letters, so I'm gonna say that it's replace, switch, or delete. Yes.
Okay.
That's hilarious.
So if somebody casts flight and you take out the L and
Yeah.
they cast fight, then they just deck a dude?
Yeah. Then I mean, we could decide what that means.
That's neat.
Like you could
I
just
remember-
start a fight.
Second edition, it was like one of those things that was like in that like 4-volume book, which a bunch of magic items that were created that was in Dragon Magazine.
Mm-hmm.
And it was a cursed item, and it was called Ring of Bureaucratic Wizardry. And you could use it to cast a spell, like a Ring of Wizardry, But every level of the spell, you had to basically take time to fill out paperwork, and you couldn't get the spell off until you finished the paperwork.
Oh my gosh. That's terrible. Oh,
Yeah,
but
so
I love it.
I've come up with a lot of I've come up with a few of my spells that I could change, but not know exactly what the effects would be. Like corpse boob
Oh god.
and MAGA hand.
Oh.
Very small hands. It's like the reverse of Big B.
Yeah.
I think it would have to apply to the world we're in.
I mean, it's good. I will take your intention into account, but I'll decide what each one does in the end.
Cool.
But yes, I found that on the homebrew list, and I was like, oh, we have to have this.
There was a homebrew item I saw once, and it was a sword that did emotional damage.
Really takes you down.
You're just like too bummed out to fight.
Yes, exactly. All right, yo. 2 weeks. We'll see ya. Remember to level up all your stuff. And yeah, I look forward to the interesting spell combinations we'll have.
Yes.
Sweet.
All right, bye guys.
Yeah. Adios.